You've decided you want to start option trading. It's going to happen and nothing can stop you. You just don't know what broker to choose. I mean, that's a big decision. The place where you're going to keep your money and trade? I have tried quite a few brokers, and I think I finally settled on one that has been great for me for the past while. What's up, you guys? I'm Jacob Fisher, and it's Minute Monday. We should be able to answer the question, which broker is best for option trading, fairly quickly, but let's get into it and break it down into details like pricing and platforms. As we get into this, I'm just going to say right off the bat that Robinhood and Webull are not the brokers to use for option trading. They're not the brokers to use for active trading. So if you came here to hear that Robinhood is going to be your pick for option trading, you probably should click off, because those aren't going to be at the end. There are a ton of brokers out there that are good. You got E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, Interactive Brokers, Charles Schwab, Tastyworks, Cobra Trading, but only one can be the winner, right? I will say brokers like Cobra Trading and Centerpoint Securities are only for people who are active and do this as their job. You don't need to worry about those brokers. They are you need pretty much 50K or 25K minimum to fund your account. So if you're just starting out, you can ignore them. Let's get into the fees for E-Trade, TD, TradeStation, Interactive Brokers, Tastyworks, and Charles Schwab for options. There are so many out there. E-Trade, TD, TradeStation, Schwab, and Interactive Brokers are all 65 cents per option contract per side. However, with E-Trade, you can get your option contracts down to 50 cents per contract if you make 30 plus trades in a quarter, or if you just ask them to lower it, because it probably will. Keep in mind that it's 65 cents to open and 65 cents to close. So your total is $1.30 per option that you trade for opening and closing it. Tastyworks is $1 per opening trade, no closing fees, with a $10 maximum. So that means if you trade 20 contracts, you will only be charged $10. If you trade 5 contracts, you will be charged $5, and then no closing trades. So if you break it down, it's pretty much like E-Trade at 50 cents per contract, because it's, $1 opening, but E-Trade is 50 cents opening, 50 cents close. Both are $1 total, plus miscellaneous fees that you will encounter. They're not very expensive for the stocks you trade in options. Interactive Brokers can go lower, but you need to be trading at least 10,000 contracts a month, which is a lot. Just based on fees, Tastyworks and E-Trade win. They are the winners to get into right there. So you could choose one of them and just be good. But there's a bit more to get into. Now, I've used all of these brokers except for Schwab, because honestly, Schwab just sounds kind of like a broker for older people. But they did just buy TD Ameritrade, so I know you will need to move funds over from TD to Schwab, and it's going to be a whole thing. I don't know when that is going through, but eventually the whole platform will be Schwab. Also with TD is that you should have an account with them, because they have the best platform for charting and scanning, and that's Thinkorswim. If you're not using the Thinkorswim platform to look at charts, research trades, then you could be using something else, but Thinkorswim is free and it is absolutely fantastic. It's what I use every single day, and it's just super helpful. You can do a bunch of lines, bunch of different studies like VWAP that I mentioned in a different video. You should get really familiar with them, because at the end of it, you'll be able to kind of understand their platform and go through it with very easily. Tastyworks was actually started by the people who created Thinkorswim, that's kind of cool. If you think about it, that they have a very high level of expertise on the trading platform side, and their platform is very good. It does represent that. For option trading, you need a broker that lets you have a cash account, because options settle T+1. That's trade day plus 1 day, so they settle the next day. What that means is you don't need a margin account to day trade options. You should be using a cash account. If you have a margin account, you are restricted to 3 trades in a rolling 5-day period, unless you have above $25,000 in your account. This is called the pattern day trader rule. It's pretty annoying, but it's here, and we kind of have to follow by it. If you have $1,000 in your option trading account, you could trade every day of the week with your $1,000, because your funds settle the next day. Not only that, you could trade in $250 lots. 4 times a day and not be flagged as PDT because it's a cash account, then the next day you could do the same thing because your money has settled and you can use it again. With a margin account, you would be flagged the first day of doing that as PDT because you've made 4 trades that day. Both Tasty and E-Trade offer a cash account. The main reason why I like E-Trade and think E-Trade is the best broker for option trading is because of the number of features they have in their platform. One of the most important ones is that it tells you how much settled cash you have in the top. It's very easy to understand, oh, if you're trading a $1,000 account, oh, I have $500 left I can trade with today. I've already used the unsettled amount. Then the next day, obviously because it's the cash account, it'll show you the full amount that is settled that you can trade with. This makes it incredibly easy to know how much you can trade with without going over the limits of what your account value is. Then E-Trade as a whole has great options like automated investing and different scanners that you can use to kind of see what sort of plays you want to get into. They have this great scanner which is for unusual option activity. Let's say you turn the scanner on and you notice somebody just bought $250,000 worth of Apple calls. You probably know that they know something you don't know. And that's something you should be aware of and just keep Apple on your watch list. Oh, maybe it's going to get a big spike this week. Then again, somebody could be hedging their position. A lot of variables, but it indicates to you that something big with Apple will probably happen. The other thing you need to consider before choosing E-Trade or Tasty is which platform works best for you, which is the easiest to navigate. E-Trade is super easy for me to navigate. Tastyworks is also easy, but if you can't understand E-Trade, then just use a different one. It's not worth it just to struggle to get through an option trade, to struggle through any trade, to struggle to see what's going on. You should be very comfortable with the platform you're using to have your money and to trade on. If you want to know more about finance and investing, then stick around this channel and subscribe. I will be posting videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays about all of those topics, plus a bit of fun stuff like last Friday about how you can live on a boat. That's fun. Make sure to comment down below what your favorite broker is. I do want to hear your thoughts on this and hopefully get some feedback from you on this. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.